And so we can't be the new age outlaws. We can't be what we once were. So it's hard to be once you once were, you know what I mean? Like that it was very difficult. So I had a lot of concerns, but I also uh I was getting paid, you know what I mean? I was getting a weekly paycheck and doing all right and paying my bills, and that's all I was trying to do at this point. Keep enough for the keep up enough wrestling for my drug habit, and pay the house notes.
I hate to laugh because I know you don't say
Yes.
that in jest.
Yeah.
You say that serious in this
Dead
sense.
serious. And that's why I want to normalize talk like that. Normalize talk about men having anxiety, men having fears. And you know what I mean? That should be normalized. That's what we should be talking about. There's a lot of mental health stuff going on that we're finding out later in life. And even for an old dog like me, um, you can teach me new tricks and I can learn if I can learn about this stuff, I can be conscious of it and make moves to try to better myself, and that's I know you say you don't like to laugh, but it's with me, it's the truth. It's what I did, man. It's what I did. And while I did all this and I was high all the time, it's not that I'm trying to negate responsibility for any of this, whether creative or professionally or personally. I'm not trying to negate my responsibility for any of this. Everything I did is mine, and I will own that. And I will make the rest of my days trying to make up for that. But thank you for bringing up. It's not all bad. I cut some good promos down there.
All right. What were some of the reasons for your unhappiness towards WWE? Obviously, they released you, but were there specific things that you felt you were unjustly treated, that you were unjustly treated or wrongfully accused is the wrong word, but like,
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And the truth be told, Ryan, is that it would be sexier if I told you, yeah, they did this to me and they did that to me. What they did for me was they provided a great living for my family, and you know what I mean. They always took care of me at every uh, stop, at every problem, around every corner. I was a drama king because I was on drugs, and they took care of me a great deal. And then I became a liability, and so they were like, "Okay, got to let you go." I have no idea what I'm talking about right now, Ryan.
hey,
Bring me back.
no, you're exactly where we need to be because this is what we want to hear. I mean, this was a difficult time in your life and you're going through changes. And now you're in this storyline where you're going to just start poking the bear, pushing buttons, getting under the skin of people that were your friends, are your associates, former bosses. I mean, through anything, you're in the business. You always hear don't burn bridges, but like
Yeah.
you guys are throwing gasoline voluntarily at this point.
We're trying to burn that son of a gun down as hard as we can. And look, they did nothing wrong to me. It would be, like I was saying earlier, sexy if they had of. That they didn't. They didn't do it. This was all of my own doing. You know what I mean? This was me and my addiction and my lack of coping skills, and I didn't know how to live life. I went through life like a hurricane with horns. You know what I mean? So I was destructive and destroying every relationship, both personal and professional, I had at this period of time. Yes, there were some good times of wrestling in between there, but this was a bad time for me.
Were there any other names in mind, or was it always going to be a VKM reference trying to throw the bitch shot?
No, it was going to be VKM for sure. And me and one of my children, I sat in my recliner, and one of my children sat on the computer, and I said, "Look up all the words that start with V." And then I thought, like, oh, voodoo's cool. And then I thought, well, voodoo kin is like if he's going to be Kip James, like we're not really kin. So it's like kabuki, kins. Okay, voodoo kin. Okay. And then the mafia it just seemed to fit. So we came up with voodoo kin mafia, and Russo liked it. I mean, I came up with that and Russo liked it. And then we got, of course, down the road, we got Roxy Laveau. That
Mhm.
was, played off of the Madame Laveau or
Yep.
Laveau or whatever her name is in New Orleans and all that.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was all over the place. And because I really didn't know what we were doing, uh, from a character standpoint, it wasn't something that we could take and evolve. It was either going to end drastically or or nothing. You know what I mean? It's probably just going to end drastically. And that's what people like at the end were like, oh, you knew they weren't going to do anything. Well, we tried. We tried to get their attention and we tried hard. You're going to find out as we keep going.
As absolutely, we will. As you guys are doing this, what's going on WWE TV is Shawn and Triple H are putting DX back together. Did this piss you and Billy off a little bit? That was kind of your thing?
Well, look, to be honest, yes, it did. But I want to be perfectly clear. It pissed off a couple of guys that were in active addiction. It was a couple of guys that's egos gotten out of control, and we thought we were bigger than the business, and we thought how dare they fire us? And look, it's once you come out of that fog, that is drug addiction, and you kind of clear your mind and start thinking about your part in all this. Like, what did I do? Man, I did it all. They didn't do anything. I did it all. And Billy's the same way. So we've grown up, you know what I mean? And we realize at the time, those feelings were real. And I would have fought either one of them if they'd have showed up somewhere. I mean, but I fight my brothers too on Thanksgiving. But that's just how we roll. And so I would have fought them at the time. Like now, I think about that and go like, man, what a piece of crap I am. You know what I mean? Like, what a bad person. Like that's
No,
not
but is that fair to say that it's all the addiction? And can't you actually be like have the ego to say, hey, I know that you were wronged, but you could still feel
yeah.
anger, frustration, disappointment, resentment, based on the situation. You were on top of the
Yeah,
world. It
I
was taken
felt I
away.
felt all of those things you just named. I really did. But again, I think they were wasted emotions because they weren't coming from a balanced place. You know what I mean? So look, I do take the blame for a lot of stuff that I probably uh, shouldn't take the blame for. But I believe in holding up my end of the deal. I believe in the responsibility, my personal responsibility. I got to do what I got to do. And that's what we were doing here. Me and Billy, they put us together. Now here we go. We go with the Dudleys. We do a little deal. Now we're gonna try to get Sean and Hunter to meet us at the Alamo. Like the whole thing really is just sticks, to different sketch comedy things and having a good time. But also like if they come out here, you know what I mean? Or if we like we would have I would have fought either
Yeah.
one of them. And now I wouldn't fight either one of them to save my life. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I look at them both now.
Where
180-degree difference than how I looked at them both then.
growth and evolution, growth and evolution, growth and evolution,